we are glad to see you again on our channel. And today, we have a review of a film in which it is constantly snowing in the world without stopping. There are very few people left, and they live in a bunker underground. Colony number 7 receives a SOS signal from the second bunker. It turns out that Colony 5 is no longer inhabited by humans, but by cannibals. People from Colony 7 need to survive at all costs. The guy and the girl are running down the corridor underground. Something is chasing them. They knock on the iron door, trying to get out, but they are caught up. Year 2045. People built machines to control the weather, but one day it started to snow very hard and all the machines didn't work. People hid underground in bunkers, hiding from the cold. So Colony 7 and Colony 5 appeared. Mason is one of the leaders of such a bunker. Colony 7 takes a man outside, pointing a gun at him. The man asks for another day and says he'll get better. Mason is determined and says that medicine does not help. He will not get better. Sam comes up and says the test is positive and the man can just walk away. He has a choice. Sam. Mason replies that it is survival and shoots a man, taking his life. Sam says that in this place they live in fear of a common cold. During the last week, almost 20 people have been sick. So now the rule is, if you're sick, you're quarantined. And if it doesn't help, you're given a choice. A bullet or a long road through the snow to nowhere. Mason. Sam says that when he came to the colony, there were hundreds of people here, and everyone was happy to get out of the cities alive. When the food ran out, most people in the world died. Underground in the bunker, the seeds were stored and protected for better days. Sam says that it is not the cold that should be feared, but each other. Sam approaches Briggs, another leader of the colony, and he tells the boy that the man knew the rules. They have no drugs, and they will not survive another epidemic. Sam is outraged that a man with a rifle will decide everything. Briggs explains that the colony began with 400 people, and he has already removed his bloodlust by running with a rifle in one hand and a shovel in the other. Briggs says Mason is just doing his job. Sam clarifies that he is not doing his job because he did not give the man a choice. Briggs is thinking about it, but says there are more important things to do now. Briggs. Cooper the signalman tells Briggs that the SOS signal came from Colony number 5. Briggs says to make a general collection announcement for all in half an hour. Briggs also tells Sam to go help with cattle to Victor. Victor shows Sam stillborn rabbits and says there are only 12 left and only 1 female. He comments that things are clearly bad if even rabbits don't reproduce. Sam says he'll try to get something from Kai. Briggs comes to Mason and asks who gave him the right to take away the choice of the man he shot. Mason says that he lost his choice along with his positive analysis. Briggs says they don't do that, they give people a choice. Mason comments that this is until they return or the food runs out. Briggs is sure that this is not the problem until it is. Mason replies that Briggs has given him this job, so let him not interfere. Finally, those who serve together should respect each other more. Sam comes to the girl Kai. They kiss. Sam says that he needs soy pellets because rabbits are not in tone. Sam notices a map of the sky in the girl's computer. Kai says that the climate control equipment is somewhere under the snow, and she will find it when the thaw begins. Kai. In the common room, everyone is already gathering. Sam approaches a man named Dexter and says that he does not look well. Maybe he should go to his room. Briggs takes a lighter from a boy walking by. He's starting to say that 2 hours ago, they received a distress call from Colony 5, and they're not communicating. Given that last year Colony number 3 died, Briggs believes Colony number 5 should be checked. Briggs says he needs 2 volunteers to go there to check it out. He claims if there's an epidemic, they'll quarantine when they get there. Mason expresses concern for their own, but Kai recalls that he and Colony 5 have an agreement. Briggs tells Dexter that he needs an experienced mechanic. Sam says he will go, and Dexter will stay. Also, there is a volunteer called Graydon. He says he's not spent much time outside, but he will do it. Briggs puts Kai in charge until he returns. Dexter's wife begins coughing and everyone leaves wearing masks. Mason and Briggs quarantine Dexter and his wife. Briggs says they shouldn't test them before he gets back. Mason asks if Kai can make important decisions, to which Briggs replies that it is no longer up to him. Sam wakes up from a dream in which the boy walks through the snow and sees a frozen body. Kai comes to the guy and hugs him, asking him if everything is okay. Briggs and Graydon set off for Colony 5. Sam says behind the scenes that the world has frozen so long that he no longer remembers the heat of the sun. He recalls that as a child, he heard stories of how the planet got hotter while people burned fuel. Then how the towers were created to regulate the weather. But the trouble is that one day it started to snow, and it never stopped. The company goes to the colony, passing one of the towers. Then on the bridge, they see the bodies of a man and a woman in a car. Briggs takes the guys to the helicopter that was used to evacuate. He radios his colony and says they'll sleep in a helicopter and reach Colony 5 by noon tomorrow. Cooper says that Dexter and his wife are getting worse, and Mason wants to take tests. He was also not happy that he wasn't left in charge. Briggs allows Cooper to use force if necessary, and says that Mason has no right to take people out of quarantine without his consent. Graydon finds in the helicopter a fashion magazine with girls in swimsuits, and Sam jokes that the guy should be left alone with them. Briggs says he found Sam nearby. Graydon asks what happened. Briggs asks Sam to tell, because all night is ahead. Sam reveals that his family hid 60 kilometers from here in the mine, where there were also several families of miners and a caretaker. They kept supplies there and cleaned out the snow. When people ate all the horses and dogs, and the food was gone, the men went to the city for help, but they never came back. People died. Sam decided that he had a better chance outside, and with his mother and sister gone. They were lost in the storm, and Sam never saw them again. Briggs rescued him. The next day, the company reaches Colony 5. The guys and Briggs see traces of blood at the entrance. The company climbs inside and sees that there is no one, but there are traces of blood and struggle everywhere. They find a locked door at the end of the corridor and open the lock. The company discovers Leland in the room. Leland is frightened and says to close the door quickly. Leland also says that they received a partial report that someone got to the tower and fixed it. The man in the video says he has soil and the sun, but no seeds. He dictates the coordinates, but the video stops. Leland says that people from his colony went looking for the man from the video, but did not find him, but someone found them. Leland shows on the map where the message came from. Briggs tells Leland that they will take him with them, but he says he will stay here, outside the door. Sam says there's no one there, and they found him because of knocking. Leland says he didn't knock and keeps repeating that they're still here. The guys pick up Leland and try to get him out, but he closes the door from the inside and stays. The company starts walking through Colony 5. They hear a knock and some sounds. In one of the rooms, the company comes across a group of cannibals that eat human limbs. Cannibals notice the company and the guys start shooting. The company runs down the corridor. Graydon goes the last. He is attacked and killed by cannibals. Briggs and Sam manage to fight back and escape. Briggs and Sam run up the ventilation pipe and throw down the explosives. The entrance is blocked by a collapsed pipe. Briggs and Sam walk through the snow to their colony. Briggs says that they need wait out the night. Sitting in a helicopter, Sam asks how it happened that people became cannibals. Briggs says that desperate people go a long way. He also says that in the army he saw how people lose control and get violent. They have nothing left to man. Briggs says that during the rescue work they drove 20,000 people to the stadium, gave them food, treated the wounded. But when the food ran out, people with guns started attacking the unarmed. And when there was nothing to take, they began to decide who to take their lives. Briggs says they tried to help, but they couldn't. He and Mason were in the same unit, and they left, wanting to find a place where it wouldn't be. Briggs also believes that the message should be checked. The next morning, Briggs and Sam exit the helicopter and see the cannibals approaching. The partners run to the bridge and jump to its other end. Briggs sets the explosives, but the fuse goes out and he crawls to set it on fire. Cannibals are already on the bridge, and some of them fall into the hole. There is an explosion that kills many cannibals and Briggs. Sam reaches his colony alone. At the entrance of it, Mason kills Dexter's wife. Kai points a gun at him and asks him what he is doing. Mason insists that the analysis is nonsense and the sick endanger everyone. Kai sees Sam screaming, "Help! He's all cold and can't walk anymore." The girl runs up to Sam, but Mason renders her unconscious by hitting her on the head with a gun. Sam is coming to himself. Mason handcuffs him and says that he is now in charge. The food will be cut in half, and who is sick will be immediately checked. Sam says that in Colony 5, all are deprived of life, talking about cannibals. Sam says they have to go and he knows where, but Mason certainly doesn't believe him. He takes everyone. The little boy brings Sam the key to the handcuffs. Victor tells Mason that if Sam is talking about danger, they should listen to him. Sam frees up and finds Kai, frees the girl. Sam takes her to the monitors and starts looking for the coordinates. Sam finally finds a thaw on the map and says to leave. Mason meets them in the hallway and says no one leaves and he's in charge. At this time, everyone hears sounds and Sam says that they are late. On the cameras, they see cannibals near the entrance. One of the cannibals points Dexter's head at the camera. Mason tells to take their weapons and all the rest to go to the shelter. Cannibals sneak inside and start attacking. They take the lives of the inhabitants of the colony one by one, though they try to defend themselves. Sam and Kai run into a shelter, but the door there does not stand for a long time. Mason finds a propane tank and says he will stay. The rest run into the tunnel. Sam throws Mason a gun. The leader of cannibals enters the shelter and Mason shoots the tank. An explosion happens. The leader of cannibals manages to jump into the tunnel for the guys. He lashes out at Sam directly in the pipe. They fall out of the pipe, and the cannibal beats Sam. But Sam begins to defend himself and deprives the leader of the cannibal life. Sam sees that the explosion started a fire in the colony. He leads a group of survivors in search of better natural conditions. Sam says they lived by the rules they made. The most important thing now is to survive. This is a Canadian film, The Colony, in the genres of horror, fantasy, action, thriller, directed by Jeff Renfro.